look at this and see how much time, and if you're holding your hand like 5 minutes, it goes to, and 2 minutes it gives you the,
Oh, okay.
you know, but you could always look at it. So I put 25 minutes because right about that time.
Yeah, cool.
These bars disappear.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys through the whole process of how to determine if you guys are a good solar candidate, along with the actual building solar array that best fits your guys' needs. Okay? That's what I'm going to do here. You want to fire me up, or is it just us? Yeah, I think we're okay. I got a pretty strong voice here.
I can hear you.
Okay, so my name is Ray Vargas. I'm with Scudder Roofing and Solar. We're both a roofing company and a solar company. And what we do is we come out and we give you guys a good, at least a good overview of if you are a good solar candidate or not. Okay, we have special tools that give us info on your home. One is called the Sun Eye. Now the Sun Eye is a tool that takes where you guys are located, and it shows us how much solar exposure you guys have. That pretty much determines if solar is gonna work for you guys or not. So if you tell me, Ray, I want you to see if we can put solar on top of this hill, then I go out there with my Sun Eye and I dial you guys in, and that Sun Eye will tell me exactly how much exposure you guys get in that certain area. Fire away.
That include if there's trees around, it'll still tell you, or will it?
Correct, it will. And that's the reason for this Sun Eye, is because if your house or your home is covered with trees and has no sun exposure, then that's when us as a consultant would come in and say, you know, maybe we should think of a different type of install, whether it be a ground mount or on a garage somewhere where there is exposure, or maybe it may not work out for you guys. So that's the reality, is that those are what those tools are used for. At this time, when we go out there to determine if solar is going to work for you guys, and you guys want to do a roof mounted solar, then we would also take a look at your actual roof system to make sure that your roof system is going to be capable, or if not, durable enough to have the solar up there. At this point, we take a look, whether it be a composition shingle, like you see here, a shake roof, or a tile roof. We take a look at the conditions and determine at that time, do we need to think about doing a re-roof? Positive thing about doing a re-roof when you're doing solar is, one, any type of roof system that is underneath solar automatically qualifies you to get a 30% federal tax rebate on the roof and the solar. Okay? So that's a plus to it, because if you wouldn't be doing solar and you'd be doing a roof, you'd pay the full cost. Okay? My guys would go out there, put our Sun Eye on your roof, take a look at the shingles, and at that point we would be able to tell you, yes, you're a solar candidate or not. We'll take one of your bills, and actually, with your billing information, we'd go back 5 to 10 years, and we would look at how much, or what is the trends of how much you guys have been using as far as electrical for your home. At that point, we would gather all this information up and come up with what we call a solar and roofing proposal. Okay? In our proposal, we would have an amount that PG&E gives to us of what you guys have used in the past 5 to 10 years. Okay? We would take all this information and put it together for you guys in a way that is very easy to understand, which is, first we'd show you guys exactly what we would be doing up there. And what I mean by that is, we would give you guys a make and model and a product information and data of what we're going to have up on your roof. We're not just putting the flavor of the week type of panel up there. We use American-made panels with all its own components. So you're not getting one brand over here, another brand for inverters, another brand of racking. You get all one manufacturer that's going to cover every single bit of the actual product that you have up on your roof for a solar array. Okay? Next, we'll give you guys a couple of details on the panel itself. We'll give you guys how they work. We'll give you guys all the product info on this part of our proposal. We'll run through how we're gonna attach. Attachment points to solar are very important. Every single roofing material has its own way of installing, of anchoring. Okay, anchoring on solar is very important, not just to keep the solar in place, but to also keep your roof watertight, which means are we properly flashing around our standoffs? Okay, which means every one of these racking system has either a standoff like you see here, it's an anchoring method where it has a screw, and this railing system would sit directly onto this bolted down screws into every one of your rafters. If you have a flat roof with the new single ply materials, the single ply materials, they have their own anchoring methods. And this is what you would have. If you have a corrugated metal roof, this would be your anchoring method. So determining if your roof is in good conditions, determining if you have the right anchoring systems, and overall the right panel and manufacturer is very important to a solar array. I want to show you guys why it's important to have the right panel and the right anchoring method at this point. Okay? The panels that we use are an American-made panel by the name of SunPower. SunPower has what's called the industry's strongest warranty. They manufacture these panels here in the United States, and they come with a 25-year craftsmanship and material warranty, which means for the first 25 years of this system's life, the system is not only serviced and maintained for free, but also if any panel breaks or anything goes wrong with the system, that includes the roofing that it's on, SunPower pays us to come out and do any repair. I'm about to show you guys why they have the strongest warranty in the industry. What I have here, this is what we call a brake kit. These are the actual cells that are installed inside these panels. Okay, inside these panels, there's about, I would say about 85 of these cells. Okay, this is what we call your conventional cell, right here. This is what you're gonna find on a Chinese panel, on a Canadian built panel, or foreign panel, okay? And I wanna have maybe one of you guys come up and grab one of these here. It's totally safe. Any one of you guys wanna volunteer? This one here, that's our standard panel, our pretty much our conventional cell. This cell here is our SunPower cell. This is the American-made product. Okay. Now I want you to just go ahead and bend that cell. Okay. Now it bent.
You bought it.
But it broke. Okay. Now this is our American cell. Okay. Go ahead and bend that one up. It also breaks, but it stays together. It does not shatter, and it keeps on producing. Why? Because it's got a copper coil that's throughout the whole entire cell. It gives it the backbone. There you go. there's the difference between our American panel and our conventional Chinese panel, okay? Same concept goes into all their racking, same concept goes into all their bolting. It's all stainless steel, it's all aluminum racking. This system, SunPower system, they've invested into making this system as maintenance-free and homeowner-friendly as they can. They've come up with a way to monitor how much your system is producing, and they actually alert not only you guys, but also the person that installed it. So if the system is not producing as promised by the manufacturer, we come out and we get this warning, and we come out and we figure out what's going on with the array, okay? Another great thing about this solar manufacturer is that this solar manufacturer actually comes with AC panels. And what that means for you guys is it already comes with an inverter attached directly to it. Each panel has its own inverter, which means you don't have this big giant appliance or inverter mounted to your wall. That's a plus, because those inverters go out every 5 to 10 years. You have to replace those things. This one already comes with its own inverter, but here's the plus to that, is at any later time, you can actually add more panels without having to do any more work to your electricity or to your panel or to your inverter. So the easy way to explain this is it's just like hooking up Christmas lights. It goes from one to another, and it's strung together. The reason why they've made it that way, go ahead, sir.
So what happens on that panel if the inverter goes out on that specific panel? You have to replace that whole panel?
The panel gets replaced, yes, because it does have its own inverter.
Okay.
But with most conventional systems, if one panel gets broken, let's say one panel in the middle of this array gets shattered, what happens to the rest of these that are connected to that one? They shut off. So if something happens to one panel up there, they all shut off. If I take this panel and it's up there in my array and I break the panel that's in the middle, it still allows the rest of them around it to work. But here's the thing, it's gonna send me a message saying, hey Ray, one of your panels is not working. Get up there and switch it out. And for the first 25 years, we will do that for you guys at no charge.
So you said though that inverters typically go out after 5 or 7 years. So that panel's inverter has now gone out. Is that's covered under warranty?
Correct. It is covered under warranty.
Years or whatever.
It's covered under the 25-year craftsmanship and material warranty. That's a great thing. Microinverters are known to last longer than 10, 15 years. It's proven and it works. They're much more efficient, these panels are. And the reason being is with that 25-year warranty that the panels that you have, you really don't have to worry about the inverter or anything going out. As a matter of fact, if it breaks down in year 20, it's actually a good thing, because now you've got this new panel that's going to come in and it's going to be replaced with something that once again is going to last you 25 years. So it's actually a good thing if it breaks down. Now, flat roofs is a very hot topic nowadays. Flat roofs are, they're known to be a little trickier. You don't want a lot of penetrations, obviously, on a flat roof. Even on a steep roof, you want to minimize the penetrations that you have up there. But with flat roofs, it's a little more critical because water doesn't move around as easy as on a pitch roof. So we've developed a bunch of new integrative ways and methods to keep them up there. I know you guys are probably thinking, well, what's this guy doing with a car seat? It's not a car seat. It's actually a faceting system for flat roofs. Is we install some concrete center blocks in this thing, and then it gets the railing system attached to it. So there's no penetrations going on to a flat roof. If you guys go down Highway 101, I mean Highway 1 here in our area, and you guys turn around and look over to see the Target shopping center, and Target is filled with solar panels. This is how they keep them up there, is with the baby seats. But anchoring of these are super important. So you guys want to make sure that when you get a quote or put together an array, that it's built and made for what you guys need it to do, which is eliminate your electric bill and installed correctly on your roof. That is the right thing to do, is to get an expert that's going to know exactly how to install it and anchor it to your roof system, and that's going to give you something that you know works. And that's an American-made panel. It's shown and proven here by our cell breaks that these panels are meant to work and work for a very long time. If anyone would like to see or would like to have a free estimate, we do free estimates. We do go out and give you guys a free observation of how much power you can produce with absolutely no high pressure cells techniques or anything of that nature. Okay? Any questions at this point that I would be able to answer for you guys?
Maybe I missed the subsidies that are available. What subsidies are available?
Okay, so that's a good question, because most homeowners have a misunderstanding on how the federal tax rebate works. Most homeowners think that 30% tax rebate is going to come off of the price of the system right off the bat. They think, well, this is going to be 30% cheaper because that's what the federal tax rebate is. How that works is we set you up with a system. We put together a system for you. The 30% federal tax rebate, it's taken advantage. They give you up to 3 years to use that up. It doesn't, we don't shave it off of the price of the system. It's you have to have that tax appetite for those 30%. So if your system is $10,000, you're going to get a $3,000 tax rebate that you can use in the next 3 years if you have a tax appetite for the $3,000. So let's say myself, I paid $1,800 in tax this year. If I did a solar array and I didn't use, I got those $3,000 credit from the feds. What I would be doing is I would use the $1,800 this year, and the remaining I can roll it over to the next. That's the way that works. I was just talking to a couple and mentioning to them about another plus to solar is it adds value to your home. And you can talk to any particular realtor and they will tell you that it is very attractive for a new buyer or a buyer to purchase a home that does not have an electrical bill attached to it. That's our whole purpose to this, is to eliminate your electrical bill. Now you do have to be careful with leasing, because leasing you do get trapped into either a 20-year or 30-year contract, and at the time of selling your home, when you do have a system that's been leased, you either have to get the new homeowners to take over that lease, or you, as a seller, has to pay for the system upright. So very cautious on how you make those purchases on the leasing.
If there's a power outage during the daytime and sunshine, do you still lose power to your house?
Good question, and the answer to that is yes. Why? Because it's still attached to PG&E unless you have a battery backup system. That's the only way to keep your house energized, is having a battery backup system. We do. We do have battery backup systems. It is, you know, it's not as expensive as it used to be. The thing about what we're experiencing right now in the solar industry is that there's big changes going on. Whereas the battery backup systems were half the size of this table in its entirety. You know, it was a big battery. So nowadays, battery backup systems are really small, really compact. You can fit it in the closet corner of the garage or whatever it might be, and not take up so much room. They've dropped significantly in price. They went from being a $5,000 battery to being a $2,000 battery.
Longevity.
They guarantee them for 25 years as well. Yeah.
How big are they?
They are about the size of this panel and about 24 inches tall. So about 2 feet tall by a little under the size of this panel by about 3 feet. And those are made by Tesla and also Solar Goods. Yeah. So I pretty much, if you guys have any other questions, I'd invite you to come over to my booth. At this time, my time has expired. But you guys are more than welcome to come over, and if you guys want to do a celebrate or anything of that nature, please do. Thank you guys. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.